Good afternoon, Liz.
Hey, well, it's dark where I am, and all the lights are out, just ready for this probe. I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, it should be interesting. So, in New Mexico, there has been somewhat of a serial killer, people assume, is because they have found so far at least 11 bodies, apparently. And this guy goes by the West. Well, I mean, he doesn't really leave any evidence or marks or monikers, but the public knows him as the West Mesa murderer.
Mm.
And this is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I was hoping we could connect to the murderer and potentially some of his victims or her victims. And what's the best way for you to connect to this individual?
Let's go through some of the victims first and see what the MO is. I don't actually know what the MO is.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. I really don't know anything about these West Mesa murders until you brought it up and you thought, oh, this will be an interesting probe. And I agree. But as far as it like being on mainstream news or anything, I haven't really heard of anything like this.
Yeah, it was pretty big several years ago, and they couldn't really find any evidence or anything, so it died down over the couple years. But his MO is sex workers, and basically the biggest question is, if he's still out there and, if he's still murdering. But I don't know. Here's someone right here, Jamie Barella, identified in the West Mesa gravesite. Jamie Barella. Let's see. So they found her skeleton. Anyway, he got her.
Yeah. I've got her here. She was very traumatized and she was terrified.
Did she get murdered?
Yes.
Okay. And how did she come across this individual?
He picked her up.
Okay.
He strangles his victims.
And
do you know that for a fact? I mean, what do you know? Because I feel like he strangled her.
Yeah, last night or whenever we talked about it recently, we also got that he stabs his victims in the throat. Did she get stabbed at all?
No, I feel like she's one of the early victims. No, I feel like he strangled her. She was little, and compared to him, he's quite a big man. So she was relatively easy. Now, if they fight back, then they get stabbed in the throat. He always goes for the throat.
Interesting. And can she verify now in spirit if the person who murdered her was the person who buried other bodies in the West Mesa?
He's killed approximately 25 ladies.
Okay, so she identifies the person as the West Mesa murderer who killed her.
Yeah, is he still in West Mesa? He's moved.
Does she think that he's still in Albuquerque area?
Is he still in the Albuquerque area? Out of state.
Out of state, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how old does she think he is, just by guessing?
In his 20s. At that time when she came across him. Now he's almost 40.
Okay. And did he have any tattoos that she can remember?
Did he have any tattoos? No, he looked very clean cut.
Short hair, military cut?
Yes.
And did he have any type of identifying clothing that she might remember?
Identifying clothing. She didn't really pay much attention. Is he a cop? She didn't pay much attention to his clothes. I've just asked her if he was a cop. She's saying no. Is he military? I think he was in the military at some point, but I am still getting like some sort of park ranger.
Yeah, ask her if he had any type of uniform on when she encountered him.
Did he have any type of uniform on? No.
And did he?
No, because if he would have had uniform on, she would have never have committed to the sale.
And did the individual take her out into the Mesa first, or did he kill her somewhere in town first?
Did he kill you somewhere in town first? Yes, in a hotel room.
Was it a hotel downtown Albuquerque?
Was it a hotel in Albuquerque? No.
Maybe in Rio Rancho?
Is it in Rio Rancho? No. I feel like it's on the outskirts of somewhere. Now, tell us, how far is West Mesa from Albuquerque?
I think it's like 20 miles away.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty. The boundaries of Albuquerque is, it stretches all the way out there. So it depends on which part you're referencing. So let's see. See if we can just find a map. So yeah, so it's near Bernalillo, so about 20 miles.
Okay.
Well, ask her if it was near Bernalillo.
Was it near Bernalillo? Yes. What's Bernalillo?
It's just a little. I guess it's a town in New Mexico. It's right before Albuquerque.
Were you being trafficked? No, she freely engaged in prostitution.
Okay.
She needed the money.
And does she have any message for her mom?
She's sorry for what she did.
All right, I'm sure her mom, forgives her. Let's talk to another person. Let's see if this might be chronological. Let's check out Michelle Valdez.
There's a lot of victims.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Michelle Valdez. I have her.
So she went missing in 2005 when she was 22.
Yeah, she was doing drugs. She was a prostitute to feed her drug habit.
Okay. And ask her if she was picked up by the West Mesa murder.
Were you picked up by the West Mesa murder? No, again, it took place in a hotel room.
Wow. So she met him there.
I feel like I say hotel, it's more like really down and out motel.
Yeah. And see if she can confirm if this might be the same spot that the other girls were murdered.
Do you believe this is the same spot where the other girls were murdered? No, it's a different spot. Now, what is interesting that she's telling me is he actually did not have sex with her. He shows up and she says, you know, what do you want? And he says, I don't have any money. And she says, well, that's too bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they talk for a little bit. And then suddenly he just completely flips out, right? She's like, you don't even see it coming. He feels like the most calm, considerate person. And then he just, bang, attacks you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, he strangled her. It's better to strangle somebody because you don't have to worry about fluid cleanup, right?
Right.
He doesn't actually have sex with these victims because that would leave too much evidence.
Yeah. Okay, well that brings us to the murderer. Let's see if we can just pull him. Now that we talked to a few of the victims, maybe you can ask the victims to help you connect to him.
Okay. They're scared of him. They don't want anything to do with him. They hate him. They're scared. They're terrified. In fact, even though they're in spirit and I'm pulling him forward now in a way, they're like, we're out of here. And I'm like, thank you, ladies. Thank you. Okay, so I've got him. He's a very, very dark man, as in dark character.
Mm-hmm.
He's very quiet, very subdued. He's very isolated. I do feel like he's in some sort of military or role of authority. He's very clean cut. And I'm saying, why do you do this? Because it gives him pleasure, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, but not sexual pleasure. No, sex has nothing to do with it. So why are you targeting prostitutes? Because they're easy prey.
And
are you still in Albuquerque? No, he's long gone out of Albuquerque.
Is he in New Mexico still?
Are you still in New Mexico? No, I feel like possibly Arizona, Nevada. He had to leave New Mexico because this is a compulsion.
Mm-hmm.
And because of how easy it was to kill, he doesn't like to kill. So look, from doing this CTT, I know that how this kind of works, right? Because people that have compulsive behaviors, they start on this cycle. First of all, it starts with the fantasy. So when we do CTT, I try to cut them off at the fantasy stage, right? Because the fantasy stage makes you start to crave and you become compulsive. Yeah. And then you act out. And then after you absolutely hate yourself, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't stand yourself. You're full of shame. You're full of guilt. You're depressed. You're anxious. You possibly even get close to self-harming. And then that phase passes. And then you start the fantasy phase all over again. So it's like this vicious circle, right? Or cycle, whatever you want to call it. And so for him, because this area was so easy, he would have just kept killing and killing and killing. And it was getting more and more and more, right? He was getting to the point he wanted to kill one a night. So he thought the best thing for him to do, because he doesn't want to get caught, he doesn't want to go to jail, he doesn't want the death penalty, he doesn't want any of those things, right? And he doesn't want to come across somebody that may actually be armed. So in order to make himself stop, he moves very quickly. He likes the desert areas, though.
So what's interesting here, I noticed it said there might be linked. Ask him if he's from Central America.
Are you from Central America? No. I feel like he's white. He's very light skinned.
Okay. And did he have anything to do with human trafficking?
Did you have anything to do with human trafficking? No.
And on the note you mentioned a while ago, does he regret all the murders?
Do you regret all the murders? He hates himself.
And are there any more places to look in New Mexico that aren't in the West Mesa that have more bodies from him?
Nevada, but not so that makes me I feel like he's in Nevada now. Is there anywhere else apart from West Mesa? No. He goes with what he knows, right? He has a routine. He has an MO. He knows exactly what he's going to say. He knows exactly what he's going to wear. He knows exactly how he's going to do it, right? He's got it down like clockwork. It's the same routine every time.
And has anyone ever gotten away from him?
Has anyone ever gotten away from you? Yes, two women, yes.
And were they in New Mexico?
Were they in New Mexico? One was, yes. Another one, was it in Nevada? No. I feel like he may have gone to Arizona, then to Nevada. I feel like there's another one. But listen, this is a hazard of the job, right? And I talked with this with one of my other interviewers, Max, the occasional host of the Most, because of course he's in Holland and Amsterdam is very pro prostitute, but from working for the police, this is a hazard of the job. Mm-hmm. And even if you do get away, you're not going in most cases to phone the police, right? Why are you going to phone the police when you're not supposed to be doing this activity in the first place?
Right.
He goes for the very low cost prostitutes because they're the easiest, they're the most desperate, they're often alone. The high collar ones or the high cost ones, or there's the high class prostitutes, was the word I was looking for, high class. Their whereabouts are known, right? Because they're often gone through a booking system. You're booking through an app, you're paying through an app.
Right.
You have a madam in charge who, keeps up with your whereabouts, knows where you're going to go, things like that. They have a location. It's very monitored. These girls are not monitored. These are just mainly like drugs and alcohol related prostitutes. They need their drug money.
Can you ask him if he had a bad relationship with his parents?
Bad relationship with your parents? Yes, he was molested.
And
by his mother.
Right. And does he have a family that is with him?
Do you have a family that is with you? I feel like he does have a wife and kids.
And they're completely unaware of his dark tendencies?
Are they unaware of your dark tendencies? They don't suspect a thing.
Has he ever had to go to anger management?
Have you ever had to go to anger management? No.
Is he retired?
Are you retired? He did retire from one job, but he's still working. So he's still in the workforce.
Ask him if he works.
Never pays these women a dime.
And does he work in the Las Vegas Strip area now?
Do you work in the Las Vegas Strip area? Just outside of there. I feel like he is around Vegas, yes.
Is he work for the Forest Service or any kind of outdoor service for Nevada?
Do Do you work for the Forest Service or any kind of outdoors? Yes.
Yeah, because that green, you're picking up a green attire. That's usually some kind of a forest or firefighter. Ask him if he's a firefighter.
Are you a firefighter? No. I feel like he is on patrol.
Mhm.
And I do feel he's not a police officer, though. And sometimes there's a crossover between, police officers that then become park, police or park rangers. I don't feel like he was a police officer. And he's just like, I can't stop killing. Have you killed people in Vegas? Yes, he has. And where do you put the bodies? He puts them in the desert.
How many miles away from the strip are the bodies?
How many miles away from the strip are the bodies? About 75.
And has he ever killed someone that he meets out in the open, like out on a hiking trail?
You ever kill someone that you met on a hiking trail? No. The element of surprise is what he loves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't like to go, he doesn't like hiking. It's too risky because they're not in a confined space. Okay. I'm telling you, this guy's got it down pat. They're not in a confined in the hotel because she's usually sitting on the bed. His back, he is always closest to the door,
Mm-hmm.
right? In a hotel room or a motel room, I feel like it's always a motel room with, it does not have a communal entry. That is very important to him. It's a single door entry or exit to the outside. In a motel room, there's one way in and one way out. Okay. If he's approaching someone on a hiking trail, there's too many places for them to run and to get away. You see what I mean? So, and also those people, they're, they could be armed. They could be, well, prostitutes could be armed, of course, but prostitutes, the way
Well,
so relaxed, right?
let's try to identify which direction these people might be buried. Ask me if it's north. At which direction from Las Vegas Center does he drive with the bodies?
Where do you drive with the bodies? Do you go north? Northwest.
Okay. Ask him if he goes towards the Indian Springs.
Do you go towards the Indian Springs? Yes.
Does he go past it to bury?
Past it. A little bit.
Yeah, so Highway 95. Ask him if he buries people next to the Cactus Springs.
Do you bury people next to the Cactus Springs? No.
Is it after the Cactus Springs?
No, I feel like he comes off the road before that.
And ask him if it's on the north or south side of the 95 highway.
Is it on the north or south side of the 95 highway? North.
So what's interesting is there's an Air Force base around there. Ask him if he knows anyone at the Air Force base.
Oh, is that an Air Force base? Okay. Do you know anyone at that Air Force base? He's been there before.
Was he there in an official capacity?
No.
Does he have friends that work there?
2 that were there, but they've gone now. Were you in the Air Force? Yes.
Ask him if he buries people next to a big peak.
Do you bury people next to a big peak? Yes.
Yeah, because there's a road that leads out to it, and a lot of nice dirt spots. That
Put them in the dirt? No. Do you put them in what do you put them in? Well, he puts them in bags and he ties them up. And then what do you do with it? He dumps the bodies in the dirt. Yeah. So he does put them in. See how these questions are very literal, though? It's like, do you put
Yeah.
them in dirt? No, actually, I put them in a bag first.
Yeah, I see that. Let's see. Ask him how deep he buries them.
How deep do you bury them? About 2 feet.
Okay.
He can't be out there long. He's got to do this very quick.
Yeah. What does he tell his family he's doing when he's out on these excursions?
Working.
And is it any particular day of the week that he favors to do this on?
Ooh, is there any particular day of the week that you favor to do this on? Sunday.
On Sundays, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So will he kill someone on a Saturday night or on a Sunday?
Do you kill somebody on the Saturday night or the Sunday? He's saying I've done both. Okay. But your MO, do you normally kill on the Sunday or do you normally kill them on the same day you bury them? Not always.
Does he leave them in the hotel to come and sort with them later?
Do you leave them in the hotel? No, he has to take them.
So he'll leave them in his vehicle.
Do you leave them in your vehicle? Yeah, so he has a truck at the back. You know how like you see work trucks and they have like a container where you store tools or whatever and it's locked?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll put them in that container.
Interesting. What
But he
color
can't
is?
keep them out there too long because they'll start to smell.
Yeah. What color is his vehicle?
What color is your truck? What color is your truck? It's like a utility truck. It's like a utility truck. What color is it? It's white.
Is it a Ford?
Is it a Ford? GMC? Possibly a GMC.
Does it have any damage on the front or back of the vehicle?
Does it have any damage on the front or the back of the vehicle? No, it's pristine. It's absolutely immaculate.
And is the truck within 10 years new?
Yes.
Is it does it have any markings like security or anything on the sides of it or back?
Does it have any stickers or markings? No. No identifiable features whatsoever.
And is his license current? This on the license on his truck? Is it New Mexico or Arizona or Las Vegas?
Oh, is the license plate on your truck, is it New Mexico? Nevada.
Okay, so he's a registered Las Vegas resident, apparently.
Are you registered to a Las Vegas resident? Yes. He's been there about 3 years.
See if you can find out how many people he's killed in the last 3 years.
How many people have you killed in the last 3 years? About a dozen.
And they're usually sex workers from the strip area.
Are they sex workers? Always sex workers, always.
And if he were to fall for a trap, what do you think would be his weakness if there was a trap set for him?
If there was a trap set for you, what would be your weakness? To have another man in the room. So like somebody in the closet who's standing, you know what I mean? Somebody on guard. Now, that has happened where he's turned up and there has been a pimp-like situation and the pimp made themselves known, right?
Okay.
And he was forced to have sex with the prostitute. He didn't enjoy it at all, but he did it just to not arouse suspicion.
And so, what month does he turn 40?
Are you 40? He's older than 40, actually. That was just her guess. When is your birthday? When is your birthday? When is your birthday? Oh, he's throwing out a bunch of months at me. He doesn't want to tell me that. When is your birthday? It's almost like he doesn't know when his birthday is, but he dedicates his birthday in November. And he usually kills around his birthday.
Ask him if his birthday is in the first 15 days of November.
No, the second the second half.
Okay.
He always kills for his. Do you kill for other holidays? No, just his birthday is a treat.
And since you were in the police, what other types of questions do you think might be good, in this realm where we're nailing down into his birthday and some specific identifiers?
So, as a previous dispatcher, the first thing we're going to ask is, what's his race? What's his skin color? Are you white? He's a white male. He's got short, sort of blondish, reddish type hair, very short. He has very thin lips and sort of a downturned mouth. Okay. He looks like a very hard person. He has very icy looking eyes, very weird looking eyes, right? But nothing major, no marks or scars on the face. He looks, I'm looking at him, he looks relatively clean cut, about 6 foot, 6'1", average weight, not overweight, not underweight. He looks like, he does that on purpose because, again, the last thing you want is, and he's a perfectionist, the last thing you want are any identifying markers to attach you to anything. So therefore, his truck looks clean. There's nothing on his truck. His clothes always look clean. He doesn't ever really say much. He's just nice, polite, quiet. He's very isolated. He doesn't socialize with anybody. Basically, if you knew him, you would think he just works, eats, and sleeps, and that's it, right?
Mm-hmm. And does he smoke anything? Cigarettes?
No. He does not smoke. Do you drink? Occasionally, he'll have a beer. Occasionally, maybe like half a beer. Very clean cut, extremely psychotic.
Did he go to college?
Did you go to college? Yes.
See if you can find out what his degree is in.
What is your degree in? I feel like it's engineering.
Okay. And how much younger is his wife than him?
Just about 2 or 3 years. Not that much younger. Does she work? No, she does not work. She's a stay-at-home mom.
And how many kids does he have?
2 to 3. One of them is a daughter. Is your wife may be Hispanic?
Okay.
Or Hispanic origin.
And what color?
No, he does not have sex with his wife now.
Yeah, I bet. And what color are his eyes? Did you get that?
They're almost like a bluey green color. They're very icy looking.
And see if you can isolate his age a bit better than the guess from the victims.
Are you 40? Higher. 41? 42? 43? I feel like he's 41 to 43.
Gotcha. And does he frequent any places in town that he goes to very often?
Do you frequent any? No, he does not socialize at all. He takes his lunch. Be seen by anybody. He does not socialize.
And what time does he go to work?
7 p.m.
So is he a night security at a business?
Do you work at night? Do you work at night? He doesn't want to answer that. Are you on night shifts? Yes, he does do night shift work, which is perfect, right? Because, hey, I've got to do an overtime shift. I'm working extra. I told him I would fill in. And then that gives him plenty of time to do his crime. And then he'll say, oh, well, they let me go early. So he'll come in about 3, 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly. And if we were to do a cross grid of this Las Vegas map, does he live in like the first, second, third, fourth quadrant right here?
Which quadrant do you live in? He lives to the west.
Straight west. Is it northwest or southwest?
Northwest or southwest?
From the strip.
Straight west. So he's on that 95.
Or ask him if he's, yeah, okay, 95.
Is that the interstate that goes, is that the one that we just looked at?
Yeah, somehow it turns into 95 there and here. Oh, it goes right there. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Ask him if he's near any parks or golf courses.
Golf courses. No.
Is he all the way out near the edge of Las Vegas in the Summerlin West area?
Are you in the Summerlin West area? No.
Or Summerlin areas at all? There's lots of Summerlin.
No.
Is that too far compared to where he lives?
Is that too far? Yes.
Charleston Heights?
Charleston? Charleston Heights. A bit past that.
Yeah, so somewhere in this area. Ask him if he's near the Ansan Sister City Park.
Are you near the Ansan Sister City Park? Are you near there? It's not far.
Or maybe the Pioneer Park?
Are you near the Pioneer Park? No.
Closer to Anson?
Closer to Anson? Yes.
Ask him which direction, north, west, south, from Anson he is.
If looking at a map, are you to Anson, or if you're leaving Anson, are you north, east, south, or west? East.
Gotcha. So maybe somewhere in this neighborhood.
Possibly. You don't want to start narrowing down homes and then people get their doors kicked in. Just in case, right? But yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Ask him when he plans to do his next murder.
Oh God. When do you plan to do your next murder? Possibly tonight.
Is he working tonight?
Are you working tonight? No.
Did he tell his family he's working tonight?
Did you tell your family you're working tonight? They think I have to go in late. Yes. But he may change his mind. Again, he's in a fight right now with this compulsion. Okay. Mm-hmm. So sometimes he can beat the compulsion. He doesn't want to do what he does. He really doesn't. He tries to stop himself. He tries to talk himself out of it. But I'm saying to him, the way you really stop yourself is either you end your life or you turn yourself in. And he's like, I can't let my family down. They're counting on me.
Right. Interesting. The life of a serial killer.
Oh, yeah. Not the first one I've ever probed.
Can we try a time movement on him?
Ooh. Go out to Monday. See if he kills over the weekend.
Let's just go out a month.
Okay, so let's go September. Let's just go September 30th. September 30th, 2022. He wants to go 23. I'm saying no. We're going 22. I feel like he gets caught though. 2022, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Did you murder somebody between August 26th and September 30th? No, he prevented himself from doing so.
And did he get caught between there and there time?
Did you get caught? No, I feel like he gets caught in a few years.
How does he get caught in a few years if there was any way for you to probe that?
I feel like DNA. I think he'll leave a DNA marker. He's going to start getting sloppy. As he's getting older, he's going to start getting sloppy.
And when he is found in Las Vegas, do they connect him to the New Mexico murders?
Yes, they'll connect him. He'll confess.
Interesting. Well,
and by that time, he will have killed upwards of 35 to 40 people,
altogether,
if not more.
Mm-hmm.
What is your trigger? Let me pull him back down. What is your trigger? So his triggers don't have to be anything major, right? So sometimes people get like severe triggers.
Yeah.
His triggers aren't. They're like, if he's bored, if life is just, humdrum, a drag, it reminds him that he's still alive. It reminds him that he's in power and control. It reminds him that his mother no longer controls his life. He actually doesn't like sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he feels that the molestation that took place, by his mother, she ruined his sex life, right? She's ruined his pleasure for life, ruined his sex life, which he says every man lives for, right? So that's why he's hell bent on killing these women. Because
is his mother alive?
Is your mother alive? No, she's dead. She was a drug addict.
Okay, she's dead.
Are you from New Mexico? No, he's not from New Mexico.
And can you connect to his mother at all?
I can, yes.
Ask her.
She's not happy about her life. Like, she's very upset. She really doesn't want to talk to me, but I can try.
Ask her if there's any identifiers that could help investigators find her son.
Are there any identifiers that can help investigators find? No, he's going to make a mistake. He'll get found. He'll get caught.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't want to bother her too much.
Well, it's her fault. But she was on drugs. And she also is telling me, like, because of the drug use and the mental illness that she has, there were oftentimes people coming into the home, taking advantage of him, and she would just turn a blind eye.
Mm-hmm.
And he would hate himself afterwards, after the fact, because these people would manipulate him. He was only a young child. They would manipulate him and say things like, it's your fault I did this. You wanted it to, just crap. And they ruined his life.
Yeah. I can see that.
It's sad.
That's what we also got when you channeled Hitler, right?
Yes. When I channeled Hitler, he was severely abused by members of the church, elders of the church. And when he tried to confess to his mother and father, or I say confess, but tried to notify them, they did not want to know about it, right? That you're making it up. These people would never do that to you. They're good Christians, blah, 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 blah. And that's why Hitler actually hated religion.
Yeah.
You know, it can mess people up badly.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all I got for the West Mesa murder.
Well, that was very, you know, I've worked on homicides before. I've worked on missing person cases before. I prefer homicides to missing persons just because when somebody is missing and if they're on drugs, or, you know, if they're on psychotic medication, or if they are mentally ill, their consciousness is often not inside their body, it's outside the body. So then it becomes very difficult to pin them down. But I do invite any detectives that may be working on this case, or private investigators with credentials, you are more than welcome to reach out to me at psychiclizcross.com. Thank you, Mr. Robot. Anything you want to add?
That's it for this video. Hopefully it helps.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Thank you very much.